Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I know it's been a while since I posted a non-gaming content, and I've been doing a lot of schoolwork these past few weeks, so I guess I don't really have that much time to create a video, but I try as much as I could to kind of like share what I do in my spare time, which is playing video games. And I don't want to like give you any excuse. I know I needed to still upload on Sunday, but it's been a very tough week for me and of course for everybody else. So I decided to like focus on the more important stuff than just my hobbies. But then again, I still also want to play video games afterwards because that's kind of my way of relieving my stress. And I have a list of things that I needed to finish for school, one of which is data analysis, and I need to submit my lab report, which is called linearity calibration curve. And I'm just gonna go through all the steps and questions, and I'm gonna show you how I do it, I guess. And another one is I need to start on my term paper for life science topics, and I chose the topic stem cells for mice research model, so I don't have any idea what it is. So I'll try watching a video of it, and at the same time I'll read some articles of any research that has been done in the past. I'm also going to show you a virtual lab that we do in this website called Labster, and it's a virtual simulation that will aid us to know how to work in the lab, because we can't really go to school right now because, you know, pandemic, and we're in our second lockdown, so it's impossible for us to go to school right now. We're just really trying our hardest to stay safe. So yeah, I'm really excited to show you what I do, mainly schoolwork and video games and playing with my dog. Okay, so this is our lab number 2, which is linearity of calibration curve, and I'm just going to show you introduction. So basically what they're telling us is that we need to examine the changes in pH depending on how much acid we pour in the beaker, or what we use for acid is a strong acid, which is hydrochloric acid. And I'm just gonna give you more details as we go further, I guess. And these are all the steps here. So go to virtual lab at Chem Collective, and this is your workbench over here. Yeah, we have solution, glassware, and tools. And I'm gonna go back to that tab. So step number 1, we have to place a 250 ml of beaker on the workbench and fill 100 ml of water. And you have to right click on the beaker and select thermal properties and check the insulated box. So when we go back to that website, it says we need a beaker. Go here and we put 250 ml of beaker. This is our beaker. I'm just gonna drag it in the middle here, and we go back to the stock room. We need a solution. Water is a type of solution, so click here. We need distilled water, and then we drag the distilled water until the broken line box shows up, and then we're ready to pour 100 mLs of water. So we put 100 ml and we press enter, and you have 100 ml of water. And then after that, we want to go back to that tab right here to follow more steps. So place a container of 1 molar HCl. Hydrochloric acid is a strong acid, and we just kind of want to go down here to find it. 1 molar of hydrochloric acid. So drag this until the box appears. And we go to the third step, which is open an Excel spreadsheet and label 2 columns with the headings volume per mils and pH under the volume heading. Enter the following volumes in one column: 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, and 0.6. And I have my spreadsheet here already done. So you want to ignore these two first for now, and then just focus on these two over here. So I have volume, and you want to put ml, which is your units, and then you have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. And then for the actual pH, we want to put 0.1 increments until you get to 0.6 mils of hydrochloric acid. So first you want to add 0.1. So that's your pH right there. And go back here. Yep, that's your pH, 0.13. And then you press enter again. Now your pH is 2.7, and then 2.52, 2.40, 2.30, and 2.22. Now you have 0.6 mils of HCl in your beaker with a pH of 2.22. Yep, that's all my actual pH. And as you add more hydrochloric acid in your beaker, actual pH goes down. So the stronger the acid, the lower the pH. We're done with all of that. We go to data analysis, create a scatter plot of your data with volume acid added on the x-axis and pH on the y-axis. Fit a straight line to the data and generate an equation in r² value for the line. Overlay these on the graph. I'm just going to show you like the easiest way to understand that. So basically you have the x-axis here, which is your volume, and the y-axis, which is your actual pH. We need to create a scatter and plot. So you drag this and then go to insert, and then go to insert scatter, and then you want to choose this one here, which I've already done. So that's what it looks like there. So you have your data plot here. You right click it. You want to add a trend line, and then you want to choose linear regression, and then we need display equation and then the r² value. Calculate the vertical y residuals for this graph and plot these residuals against the volume of acid added. Examine the residual plot and comment on whether the plot displays any features which suggest a non-random distribution about the best fit line. What they're basically telling us is that we need to make a residual. We wanted to include that in our table and create a scatter plot again. and we needed to examine if that graph that we create or that scatter plot is suggesting a non-random distribution. Okay, it's better to show here. So this is, you've already done your volume and actual pH table. Now you have to do your y predictions. So what you're just gonna do here is you have your equation, y equals negative 1.4914x plus 3.0453, and you use your volume. You need to substitute x with the volume. Say for example, negative 1.4914 open close parentheses 0.1 plus 3.453, and this is your answer here. You're just basically using this equation, substituting x, putting 0.1 or 2, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and then you have all your y predictions. And all of these ones are pH. And in order for you to get your residual, you need to subtract 3 minus 2.89616, or so this is your answer here. 2.7 minus 2.74702, and these are all your answers here. So now you have your residuals. Next is that you need to make a scatter plot between volume and residual, in which volume is your x-axis, residual is your y-axis. So with this table here, if I click it, it's showing these two. So that means your x-axis, or sorry, your y-axis is your residual here, and then your x-axis is your volume. And this is what it looks like for my scatter plot. What I'm seeing is that it doesn't look like it's a random distribution, or like the data plots for y residuals are not randomly dispersed. So I think it's more of like a U-shaped or a parabola here. Okay, so for my microbiology, I'm just gonna rewrite all of what's on our PowerPoint presentation, and I'm just gonna check how many pages. Oh, it's like 36. Well, I'll try my best to go through all of these slides, and hopefully I finish most of it, but if not, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll finish it tomorrow. Okay, so I think I only did like 15 slides, and that's how much it did. It's like 2 papers and like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. I'm gonna continue tomorrow because I'm done. My hands are hurting and I just wanna take a rest. So I'm gonna show you. I'm really excited to show you. I bought these 2 pairs of pajamas from my tita. That's my mom's friend. Shout out to Tita Marianne. She's doing an online business, and on top of that, she's working and she's taking care of 3 of her beautiful daughters, which is super amazing. And I'm gonna put her link in the description below if you're curious to check it out. So this is the package here. The cute note. So I have this a black pajama. Let's just open it. And this is small. I like the texture. It's kind of like silky. The second one, I like the color. I'm gonna open it. Ooh, looks so nice. Again, I like the silky texture. It's light. So, this is the black pajama. I like it. It's like so silky and smooth and light. And I like the elastic here because it's easier to put it on. And you have a pocket here. You can put, I don't know, your pencil or your coins or whatever. Yeah, I like it. It looks expensive too. I mean, this one is it's really affordable. So this is the white one. Same texture. It's silky and smooth, and it's lighter fabric. And I think it also has a pocket on the side. You can put whatever you want. And same elastic on the waist, so it's easier to put it on. I love it. I think this one is my favorite one. But I also like the black pajama. I don't know, I can't really choose between the two. Both of them I like the color. I like the patterns. So I'm going to do experiment number 1 in microbiology. Gram stain. I'm going to try this out. Just wait for it. Let's start.
Welcome to the gram stain simulation. Today you will perform the gram stain on a fluid sample from a patient suspected of suffering from a bacterial infection. Let's put on a lab coat.
Okay.
Find the lockers and open one of them. Raise your lab pad for more information. Find a lab coat inside the lockers and pick it up. Perfect. Let's get started with the first mission. We will teleport to the hospital where our patient is currently being examined.
Teleporting. ...
Hello, I am Dr. Tajong. Thank you for coming to the hospital so quickly. This condition is known as meningitis.
Protection of the central nervous system. These are the parts of your brain. What are we doing today? Choose the correct component of the central nervous system. So for this one is, of course,
click on the lab pad for more information.
This is a spinal cord and then cerebrospinal fluid. And let's go to theory. Brain, spinal cord. Yeah.
What type of meningitis is the most dangerous?
What type of meningitis is the most dangerous? We can go to view theory. And meningitis is a medical condition where the protective membranes that surround the brain and spinal cord become inflamed and compresses the nervous tissue. So meningitis is caused by bacterial infections, viral infections, fungal infections, parasitic infections, and autoimmune disorders. Bacterial meningitis is considered a medical emergency and required prompt antibiotic treatment. I think it's saying here that bacterial meningitis is the most severe. Other types of meningitis, viral, fungal, parasitic, autoimmune, are usually less severe. Bacterial. Bacterial.
Yes, bacterial meningitis has high mortality rates and must be promptly treated with antibiotics.
I mean, it's close to the outer membrane and the thin peptidoglycan.
Exactly. The lipopolysaccharides are wow. You
Hang up the phone call to proceed with the experiment.
Okay, bye.
Go to the hollow table.
Oh, let's go to the hollow table.
On this hollow table, you can see all the main components of both click on the highlighted objects to learn more about them.
What are we doing? The following objects need to be clicked.
In gram-positive bacteria, a thick peptidoglycan layer surrounds and protects. Let's put all our knowledge to the test by building our bacterial models. We will begin by assembling the gram-positive bacteria.
Okay, gram-positive.
Assemble the gram-positive bacterial cell wall on top of the cytoplasm, then click the check mark on the screen on the hollow table to check your answer. Click here for more info.
For gram-positive, it has cytoplasmic membrane, and then it has a thick peptidoglycan. It has a teichoic acid. Does it have a porin though? Oh. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna go back here.
Click on the lab pad for more information.
Yeah, I think it's just thick peptidoglycan, teichoic acid, and the cytoplasmic membrane. Yeah?
Nice.
Continue.
What is the primary stain used that colors all bacteria purple?
Crystal violet.
For how long will you drench the bacterial smear in crystal violet?
1 minute.
Will you rinse off the glass slide with water or continue without washing?
Wash with water.
What reagent is used to fixate the crystal violet molecules in the bacterial cell wall?
Iodine solution. That is a mordant. Call it a mordant solution, where it creates this crystal violet iodine complex. It crystallizes it in order for that CV or the crystal violet to stick to the peptidoglycan. So iodine.
For how long will you drench the bacterial smear in iodine?
1 minute.
Will you rinse off the glass slide
Yes.
with water or continue without washing? What reagent is applied to decolorize the gram-negative bacteria, and thus differentiate it from the gram-positive?
95% alcohol.
For how long will you wash the bacterial smear with alcohol?
You have to wash it for 5 to 10 seconds, because if you wait for too long, all the crystal violet will disappear. So you just want to wash it for 5 to 10 seconds, and after that you wash it with water. You don't want to dissolve all the crystal violet.
Will you rinse off the glass slide with water or continue without
Water.
washing? What is the secondary stain used that colors the decolorized gram-negative bacteria pink?
So this is called a carbophoshine or fuchsine or whatever, or safranin. This is a counter stain. After you decolorize your bacteria, you put this safranin.
For how long will you
solution.
drench the bacterial smear in safranin?
For 45 seconds.
Will you rinse off the glass slide with water or continue without washing?
I wash it with water.
Press Analyze Result to see if you have passed. Bravo! You successfully stained the gram-positive bacteria purple, and the
Speed run.
Well done. Enough theory. The cerebrospinal fluid sample from the hospital just arrived.
Okay.
Go to the centrifugation workbench on your right.
Let's go to the centrifugation.
Find a glove box and click on it. Put the safety goggles on. Open the centrifuge. Pick up the CSF sample from the tube rack.
Sample.
Put the CSF sample into the centrifuge.
Okay.
Pick up the counterbalance.
Counterbalance.
Put the counterbalance in the center. Close the centrifuge.
Okay.
We need to centrifuge the sample for 15 minutes. Luckily, we can speed up the process in our virtual lab. Start the centrifuge by pressing Start on the screen. Pick up the centrifuge CSF sample. Now that the CSF sample is centrifuged, you will have to fix it to a glass slide before we can stain it and bring the CSF sample over to the biosafety. Place the CSF sample in the tube rack. Open the lid of the positive control. Pick up an inoculation loop and collect Staphylococcus aureus from the positive control. Add the bacteria on the inoculation loop to the glass slide. Discard the inoculation loop in the biological waste. Close the lid of the positive control. Open the lid of the negative control. Pick up a new inoculation loop and collect E. coli from the negative control. Add the bacteria on the inoculation loop. Discard the inoculation loop in the Close the lid of the negative remove the cap from the CSF tube. Pick up a new inoculation loop and collect CSF from the test tube. Add the sample on the inoculation loop to the glass slide. Discard the inoculation. Close the cap from the CSF tube. Set the timer to 10 minutes to allow the bacterial smears to air dry. Now you need to heat fix the bacterial smears. Pick up the glass slide and place it on the heater. Set the temperature on the heat plate to 60 degrees and press start. Place the heat-fixed glass slide on the staining rack. Set the timer to 60 seconds, which will be the time required for the primary stain to react. Pick up the primary stain and pour it over the glass. Pour the primary stain over the glass slide. Let's see if you chose. Put the crystal violet bottle back on the table. Pick up the bottle with distilled water. Wait until the 60 seconds have passed and wash the slide with water. Now, wash off the crystal violet. Put the water bottle back. Set the timer to 60 seconds for the second reagent. Pick up the dye fixator and pour it over the glass. Pour the dye fixator over the glass slide. Put the iodine back. Pick the distilled water. Wait until the 60 seconds have passed and wash the slide with wash the iodine off the microscope. Put the distilled water bottle back. Set the timer to 10 seconds. Pick up the careful now. Remember that the alcohol should be washed off before it completely destroys the bacterial cell wall. Pay close attention to this step, or you might have to redo the whole staining procedure. Pour the reagent over the glass slide and start the timer. Quick. Put the alcohol bottle. Wait until the 10 seconds are up, then wash the alcohol off the slide. Now wash the alcohol off the mic. Put the distilled water bottle back. Set the timer to 45 seconds, which will be the time required for the counters. Pick up the counter. Pour the counter stain over the glass slide and start the time. Put the safranin bottle. Pick up the bottle with wait until the 45 seconds have passed and wash the slide with now, wash off the safranin with water. Put the water bottle back. Pick up the glass slide and put it on the heater. Set the temperature on the heat plate to 50 degrees and press start.
So I think that's the end of my vlog. I feel like I did a lot of schoolwork today. I feel more productive. I didn't slack off. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.